No, for minutes to get back to me. As soon as it goes live, which is by the time she'll get.
When she flips the.
You want to go last?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ready?
Yeah.
3.
Hello. So we will have as really an artist's perspective before Child's Bahar, so it's lined up. Have an idea. See what everyone is doing right now. They're what is happening here. We are very what be doing where they're crisscrossing. So and what we hope people will take away from think in a different way, right? So it's great when you does that make you feel? What does it make you think? Joining me live, just sitting down with me right here, is Claire. She'll kick off because there's an audience
still coming in, even though the traffic's not as bad because it's Good Friday and folks are on the road coming. But we have about 400 that went to. We also have.
As they're lining up street.
There's a, also
it's in there.
Are into like the cool. It's fun and it's definitely like it's
elegance. I like that. So what's going on right now, Claire? They're getting ready to do.
This is definitely one of the things that most people don't understand about sailing. When you're navigating a boat and trying to go right, you have to pull over to the left. It's more north of this Lake Anna area. And they're going to get ready to line up in groups on the north side and then some on the south side, and then they're going to crisscross and do what we call a few different programmatic tricks.
Okay.
So one more orange sail, then you see the purple.
Left, that purple one? Okay.
Yep. That are, they're kind of a little slow. They're still trying to move around while the two major lasers are moving quite quickly. They're setting up to follow the leader. The younger,
that's one of the
we see looking out on the water versus looking at the drone.
Look at the screen.
Silly, Claire. All right, the purple sail. I'm looking at it now. So they're sitting with the crowd.
Nice.
She did this in the last 24 hours, and she is she's act fly over land. So she
one on the left. Colors are gorgeous.
Purple, blues.
Purples and blues. So when you look at that, what do you?
The extraction, it's much more realistic. This is a more abstract rendering of a butterfly.
And tell me about who's sailing. Do we know the sailor here?
That sailor is Cole, I believe, Franceschi.
Okay. And as Claire said earlier, what we're going to do is we're going to see the two lasers, the two bigger boats. There are the leader. And so the leader here is Delicious, which I love that name.
Yes. So now I know who's on every single sail.
Okay,
so we could actually start looking at this. That is Sailing Foundation Scholarship Racing student racer, and he
Club Foundation for being here today. Oh, the face. I love that face. I've seen that before.
Yep. That.
Here we go to the left. You see the face there.
Yep.
Tell me about this, who painted this sail and what this is all about.
So that's, the sailor is Jackson Jagustin, and that is super cool that you're zeroing in on that because he's also a City of Fort Lauderdale sailing camp graduate. He went to the first sailing camp last summer, and now he's racing.
Wow, look at that.
He literally has not spent not even a full year, and he's racing competitively with the Lauderdale Yacht Club Sailing Foundation, taking him under their wings. And that artist is Buns.
Oh.
She's one of the.
Buns,
I think
like
she's the first.
B-U-N-S.
Yes.
Buns.
Like
I got buns.
Bugs Buns.
Okay.
She's the first female MSG artist from Miami.
Okay, Buns, I think we have a quick little sound bite with Buns so you can get to know Buns yourself. Go ahead and play that, guys.
You guys ready to start to set up on the line?
I'm more of a character artist. I do a lot of girls. I don't necessarily like for them to be human, so I never do them of color either. And this is my first girl I've done with color.
It's
me
Zoe,
in it.
AKA.
Yeah, it looked cool because I made her hair flowing up to the tip on purpose so that way the sail, when it blows in the wind, it looks like to like relate to it and just feel like cutesy with it, you know.
Very did that great underwater theme. You had a butter.
Okay, so let's take a look at, I know we have some video that might be fun to look at. So there is actually, as we're watching now, there's a really cool face, really fierce chick face.
Fierce chick face.
Yeah, it's like a cotton one that's just about to go off screen, but
On the
that's
left?
that's
On the
the
left
Dr.
here?
No series. Yep.
Okay, let's follow on the left here if we
Yeah.
can with the drone. And it looks like, I can make out, it looks kind of purpley and white, but I can't quite make out what
Dr.
that...
No, it's the Dr. No sail inspiration with Sean Connery and Ursula Andress.
Okay, let's see if we get it a little closer here. So tell
On
me,
the beach.
right here.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's a photo that's been deconstructed by the artist Andrew Cotton. And New River Fine Art Gallery represents the artist, and he took a photo from Dr. No and then deconstructed.
Oh, I see. She's doing a handstand there. Okay, he's holding this boat here
That
as we
one
look at this.
is
Sean Connery.
that one
constructed on a sail
is, there he is. Hannah Kaufman, and there are quite a few female sailors.
I love that.
So that are with the foundation. In fact, there's several in
Out there.
These two.
And they're going to be out here doing their show until 6 o'clock tonight, is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. They're now. I think they're getting ready to do the last of this drill.
What's going on?
Exactly.
A lot of them.
Like laser, the orange butterfly.
Okay, the orange butterfly in the center
By
of the
Dee Dee
screen.
Rock.
Yep, so that's the tall one there in the center. If we could get a
Yep.
closer look at that. We'll get to that in just a second.
Rock.
Dee Dee Rock. So we're going to take
He's-
this. Okay, that image.
There's a good shot.
Great,
It's
beautiful.
another more realistic interpretation of like a monarch stylized butterfly hovering over the water. You see the sort of splashes of paint that create the sense of it being hovering over the water. And yeah, she did a beautiful job.
Beautiful job. And now when I look at regular white sails, I'm going to think they're so boring.
Yeah.
After seeing this. So Dee Dee Rock from Miami, and I think we have some video of her. Truth be told, this was done quite recently. Is that right, Claire?
In the last 24 hours.
In the last 24 hours. So funny story, funny things happen, you know. They had, the Street Art Regatta had two beautiful sails for their lasers, and they didn't make it here
on Tuesday night, and they'll be here next week.
So how long did this take her to do this? I mean,
she
we saw
did
that time
this.
lapse.
I mean, you can't even imagine how
No.
beautiful that is.
Dry, we understand sails she painted because we had to get them painted.
Actually, you know what? I
Are there
actually
quite a few?
I have 4 Opties,
Yeah.
not a single piece of paint chipped.
Oh, that's
And
great.
then, you know, that's not the case most of the time. But we had so many sailors sign up, we had no choice. I am actually very curious if this particular laser sail they're looking at is going to get chipped. It looks like it's in okay condition right now, but you know, it's whipping out there.
But maybe that's part of the charm. If it looks
Exactly.
has a little wear and tear, you know, our sponsor. A lot of
He's a prior laser Olympic champion and prior Commodore of the club and an attorney in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, great. And look at this.
We might have Street Art Regatta
The deck. You do different events like this throughout the.
came to maybe assistance groups in the other parts of the state to help them start their own program. We are possibly going to be doing something.
Yeah. Let's see what we can find in our little treasure chest of sails here. What do we see? This one in
I
the
know
very
we have
center?
a video on Orla. She's right there in the blue.
The blue with
the
the
other
yellow?
blue leg. Yep.
Okay,
we have a cool video
not
by
the
Orla.
ballet ones, but this guy sailing right here.
Yep.
Okay, great. So the sailboat is very top center of your screen.
And
so let's see if this sailor circles around as we look up who this sailor
Arthur
is.
Lombard is a sailor.
Arthur, you're doing a great job. Look at that, catching the wind just perfectly. And Arthur is from where?
He's from, I think he's from Fort Lauderdale, but I'm not sure.
Okay,
But,
okay, Arthur.
but he's
Oh,
with the foundation.
You're looking good, Arthur. So tell me about this sail. Who painted this?
Orla is a Russian American. She also did an interview that you'll see in a minute, but she also did an interview that same day, right as Russia was going into
To war.
To war, exactly. And she has family also in, you know, the communities of both Russia and why can't I think of
Russia and
Harold,
and Ukraine?
Ukraine.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I'm
it's
having
a long day.
it's so she has relatives in either part of the country there, and so this interview came on the heels of that whole thing. So if you want to show
so
that,
let's go ahead and see
coming.
that.
No, I like that this is very low key. Every project is unique, so I don't really distinguish between painting on the wall or an object like the sail, for example, and positivity and stepping out of my comfort zone. That's what it was really about. This was my favorite. See what happens, and this is what happened, and I think it came out pretty good. No, you like it? You like it?
Were from the Ukraine.
Unpublished interview where after the one you saw, she talked about her family in both Ukraine and Russia, and I didn't get a chance to talk to her about that because then it got a lot of views.
Half hour, what's going on, what's happening, and why we're here. You're watching the 2023 Street Art Regatta. We are live at Lauderdale Yacht Club. They have opened the door.
So that when you were asking me too about the sort of generations of people that have done regattas. There's a Venetian called the Red Regatta to work with the community in Venice and it's a true community project. They just took all these colors of crimson red and had all of the different kids in the city paint just beautiful because they were all different shades of red on the water. And Melissa McGill, I got in touch with her. I was inspired by her work. You can look that up also. You'll see pictures, beautiful pictures. So I said, but I've been working with street artists for a while, and I said, I really want to give them, a platform to
Sale is on the sale.
More people need legs. Also came from work that I've done. So we do if you look on the website, we do the annual theatrical productions, and I wanted to celebrate the dancers that I know, and this was another way to give them a shout out in addition to the street artists.
All right, so let's kind of go in. Who's in the center of the screen now? Let's see if our drone can fly in and get us a little bit closer here and see some other sales. We can zoom in and tell their stories.
There's a lady pink sail that I see, the pink, you can't
This one
miss
right
it.
in
The pink brick. It's like a
Is that the one on the right here? She just turned around? Okay, here. So the left hand up in the air.
Brilliant pink.
Okay, so
and
let's
they're all
get in
gathering
here.
around in a circle.
There we go. You see, oops, it's over to the right. To the right. So if we pan over to the right, we might see that lady pink sail. She's a very important, fantastic, fabulous, well-known artist, Lady Pink. So Claire, tell us about the artist who did this, because she's pretty spectacular.
She is an icon. So she's now living in upstate New York. She had a show at Museum of Graffiti a year, maybe 2 years ago. During the pandemic, again, I reached out to her in New York. She painted the sail. I shipped it up to her. She shipped it back to me.
Beautiful.
She tagged that sail is we're celebrating women. She is one of them in the industry.
Okay, and I know we have an interview with Lady Pink, and she doesn't do interviews that often, does she?
Really never. So I had to go down to the Museum of Graffiti, that's where it's shot, and talk to her. And then there's also a little, in that video, the same one you're going to see, there's actually a very, very much behind the scenes when she was painting it from her studio in upstate New York.
Okay, so we do have that video of Lady Pink. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Ovarian cancer, insane, his brother.
Right.
Well, my sister Lolly is here. She's house sitting right now, so I have
to have one of our is the Master Club in Fort on. Let's take a look via our drone of one of the
is so known landing page. You can actually click on the PDF and go to his Instagram, but it's Art Yek, Y-E-K, and you can check him out. He began his career working with Brito as really a sculptor. He created the forms that Brito would then, and he took the sail. You know about that one.
Yep.
And the winner's sail is that sail.
Oh, great.
That's Emilio Bocanegra's sail that I think I saw you, by the way, interviewing Emilio down in Miami.
Yep.
But this was Oregon, and this is the winning sail. We got the sail from
So that's a tribute to him. So Emilio, as a sailor, he sails in a lot of these regattas. And I didn't say it at the top of the broadcast, but our crew out here, we're the ones who cover the Orange Bowl Regatta, and we stream that live every year. The difference with that regatta and this regatta is that regatta is all about speed and who wins. This regatta is all about art and beauty, right? So it's a regatta of a very, very different kind. So
I mean, they do maneuver. They beat each other to do tight spins and maneuvering, but it's not from point A to point B. It's like spinning at the closest proximity and then successfully doing these very tight changes.
And what's
Oh yeah, the freestyling hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Things they could never do, because again, when you're trying to get from point A to point B, you don't want to.
So again, we have 22 sailors who are participating. Most of the boats out there, about 20 boats, are opties. Those are the smaller boats that you learn to sail on. The beginning sailors are kind of the captains of the ships, so to speak, in two different groups, and they are leading the formations that are going on right now. And we are representing artists from all over the world here today. So where do these sails end up? What is the end goal here, Claire?
So something that I'll try to get, I see it out there, but I don't see it yet on the drone screen. But Stefano Alcantara's sail is an example of what a successful program looks like.
Okay. And we'll get character, and I think we actually have a quick interview with Stefano. Take a listen right here.
My nose is bodies. For me, it was the perfect fit. But it's a dance, it's a movement. Also, the strokes that are in my paintings now, they are very similar. That also, I like the project, the unique way of car or bike, but never a sail. So for me, it was super unique, super interesting.
There, the beigeish brown dancing legs and the green background, and this is one of our street artists who painted that sails. Tell me a little bit more about Stefano
Alcantara's sail downstairs. We can show you later. It's now available for resale because one of the foundation members can't find a wall big enough to put it on.
Is that what happened?
So, but at least the original sale of it helped fund, the last summer program, but it does
tell me that, so we're looking at about
a situation, but we felt that those were broad enough to integrate. But the first series is again, second series was sort of the conservation sea creatures, maybe sort of creatures that you wouldn't see on the water, like the butterfly. And then the third one is, sort of the nostalgia of Hollywood and beach culture. There's probably more we can photograph. Simple figures are so.
Back out here live with me and Claire. We are upstairs, just to give you perspective, at the Lauderdale Yacht Club here. And actually on the land, we see them over the balcony right
Big time.
They're getting their photos.
A race from point A to point B. They're going to do a race.
Illegal betting, just, maybe a friendly commentary, right?
That's Buns too. We have two sales by Buns, but we also have another sale coming up. Let me see, I'm trying to look and see if I can, there's two, it's right here.
Okay.
It's
in the very center of the screen.
You're right, coming down right there, right to the left a little bit. See that abstract
on the left?
blue?
Oh yeah, it looks like it's stained glass.
Yeah, that we have an interview with the artist.
Who's the artist?
Ripes. R-I-P-E-S.
Ripes. And tell me about this sail here. What are we looking at?
So he did it up, but it works. It's an abstraction of the water and splash, like a splash abstraction. And single-sided print,
yep.
It's much more brighter, but the original really, it didn't last very long. It just something about the sail it was painted on, but the printed version.
What do you mean it didn't last physically?
It disintegrated.
Oh, it disintegrated.
Without even going on the water. So sometimes that happens. So we're trying to refine our tactics here when we decide what types of sails to paint. But
yeah, we have a little soundbite with Ripes. Take a listen.
I go by Ripes. I'm a member of the MSG crew here in Miami. you know, a thought of flow, just kind of just did abstract shapes. Have a layer with the blues and stuff to signify the water, and then I added a couple sharper edges here and there to just break up the solid, bold stuff. You know, and it was nice to see the pictures of them actually sailing on the water. That was pretty awesome. To just actually see them out there was better than seeing it on the fence in the backyard, you know.
And it is definitely better to see it here on the water than on a fence. That is for sure, as he said in his interview there. So
I think that was my fence too.
was it your fence? Listen, there's nothing that Claire doesn't do, okay? And she opens up her house, lets the artist paint there. And how are they chosen? Is it a lottery?
Oh,
Is it
well here, let me zero in on one. There's that fierce face right there.
Okay.
See the blue face right there?
That's with the red, a little bit of red on it, very in the center.
All right, that's a perfect example. Yep, look
Right
at
there.
her. She's two-sided. That's an
Oh,
original.
beautiful.
That's by a really cool artist that I've worked with since she was in high school. Her name is Ruth Barote.
Okay.
She went to Dillard School for the Arts. She graduated. She's now a professional artist. She did that sale last year.
And she said it's a Japanese inspired.
Yes, and youth emerging artists that I've worked with.
Okay, let's take a listen to Ruth.
I wanted something to like actually connect with the water in a way, of have it exist in its own thing. So I got inspired by the way how he like kind of illustrated his waves to be like this organic form, like the different elements of like the waves and the water to be a part of this super bashful but very graphic piece was something that I kept in mind when I was like creating the piece.
Sale. Guy Harvey is a very well-known South Florida artist here. You've probably seen his art on someone's t-shirt at one point or another because it's happened.
So, yes, his son contacted me and said that, you know, Guy's never done this before. Well, do you have any pointers? And I'm like, just have him enjoy it. And so he was painting it at his home in the Bahamas. I had to give a shout out with Andrew, and we are working on an exhibition of some of the sales for Andrew at the next available show. But this particular one was done, special project to
Looked great, and that's new this year also, right? The
Correct.
Guy Harvey sale. Okay, so that was just, we've shown you two of the, and get to kind of see them.
Okay, there it goes. She is talking about the fact that her son is a ballet dancer for.
I went about it in my studio using brushes and acrylic paint.
She's from Fort Lauderdale.
Hakusai was the inspiration for the piece, and I knew it would read well on a large scale. And then I superimposed because we had talked about this with Claire, water, and I thought about what she had said about it's like these great gods coming from the sky and coming down on the water. And it's such a magical idea that I wanted to do that. So
always, if they weren't, they would be members or they'd be going to other sailing.
That was great,
painting inspired.
Yeah, Laura Tan, she's a
actually she, you know, street artist. Nora Suzanne, like, but I think I see Laura's she's got purpley. I believe, yes, I see her. She's with the big Barote did in terms of, you know,
Look, we got a great shot of the sailor right there.
Is Evan Pulido, which I think, yeah, he was in the race last year with Opti. And it is a printed sail. That's why it's a little less vibrant on the side you're looking at right now. But interestingly, expertly, that's a beautiful shot right there, by the way, because they're all sort of in one camera shot.
It's amazing how they can get so close to each other.
Yeah,
and so that was Laura Tan. She's a fine artist. But she's also an art teacher. I think we have a little quick interview with Laura Tan. Take a listen.
I'm a fine artist, but my day job is I work for the public school system, teaching art to elementary school. And it was wonderful for me.
And then we also have some of the cool videos.
All day long, little kids, to see these, I guess they were middle school styles with the same theme, interpreted differently, and then because I think the kids were exposed maybe to the process and the possibilities that art might have, and artists who normally don't necessarily go outside, or people you know, I think got to see that it connected, or it was a nice connection between the two. You know, I appreciated it all.
And that was Laura Tan, who we just heard from there. Great to see all of the possibilities on the water that you've never seen before, is what she said. Changing now, let's focus on this sail right here, this red image in the blue background. What do we see here,
So
Claire?
it's actually African dance inspired. You'll notice that it's a black, beautiful black toned foot and leg. The artist is El Sekis. He's based in New York. I've actually done quite a few projects with him. His style is actually not at all figurative, so this was a bit of a stretch for him. He does mostly abstract, sort of neon interpretations of foliage and tropical, beautiful tropical flowers, so this was a stretch. But this piece he did in 2020, and the artist is Sean Clifford. I mean, the sailor is Sean Clifford.
And now, have you
did a mural right now? But again, his style is not figurative, so that just shows you how talented he was able to produce this figurative interpretation.
How long?
You know, depending on the complexity, and then hang out with
to you, or how
24 hours. The space.
So we've spoken about a bigger sail there.
I mentioned. It's a collaboration, actually. Remote is a true street artist. He does not do figurative dancing, and Hiro is very good at everything he does. He is an African-American artist from Sarasota. He came down to collaborate with Remote, who's over in Fort Lauderdale downtown. They collaborate in Remote studio to nuance this blue leg that you just saw, dancer's leg on point, and create more detail.
Female, beautiful job. And will you do another regatta? I know that you're going to have the sails on display. You have
something in Palm Beach. We're not sure yet. We're probably going to do more of an installation of the sails on land, maybe in Palm Beach proper.
Okay.
It's with the community sailing group in Palm Beach County. We're trying to work the details out, but it's coming up soon. Some more activities. I'm trying to think of there's another sail that we haven't looked at yet.
Yeah, there are two sails we wanted. Tom,
the ducky, he goes in these phases where he does, you know, he does worked out pretty nice, doing quite well. There was a couple chips that came off of it, so I was happy to get a photograph before it started chipping. It's a really cute one. So that's a fun one. Going back to try to find, this is
beautiful. Actually, this is hanging.
We did last year. We actually had a bidding war on the original, and so the original looks like that, but obviously that's not the original. And the guy that lost the war wanted to commission his own piece, but he said, I want it to go on the Yacht Club wall, so I'll pay for it. And so we were so appreciative. I think it was Neiman-esque. I said to Lisa, it's got this, he does a lot of paintings that have this feel, but Rossetti, Tom is a locally well-known artist. Has had he's with Current Miami, which we could perhaps share with the audience.
Yep.
I was talking about the street art regatta.
Who the sailor is.
And kind of really went to the sailing theme and the yacht club theme. I wanted to evoke the motion of the water, the motion of the sailboat, the colors in the sky, everything, the excitement of sailing. So I kind of watercolor. So it's acrylic paint, but I really watered the paint down. I loved the lettering in the piece. I incorporated that into it so you know it's a sail. So it makes it a little bit more hip, a little bit more edgy.
And back out Art Regatta, we are bringing it to you live. We have 22 sailboats on the water, 22 painted sails, 2 of them are lasers, 20 of them are Opti. The Lauderdale Yacht Club, a big sponsor, other great sponsors out here to thank.
Yes, we had Broward County Cultural Division's director. We had Commissioner Beasley Pittman from Fort Lauderdale's commission. We are very grateful for the Florida Division of Arts and Culture. The legislative session is happening right now, and we're very grateful that there is funding, hopefully full funding, being made available for all.
This is a free event that's open to the public. It's great, it's wonderful, it's community. Then we had these amazing artists that get commissioned to paint these sails.
Thing we're sort of perfecting. It takes a seriously big house or a large lobby to about a 14 feet by 14 foot expanse to properly place it. Anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000. The Emilio sail, it's the winning sail from last year's national championship. We are asking for $7,500 for that one. And so we have some interested parties in that. It is again like getting a huge piece of art on your wall. And then the lasers, the larger sails, are double-sided. So you and the sails.
Get the background of that.
So tax deduction for anyone who paid over the amount of the actual cost of the auction sailing camps and our art camps.
And it's been a good event actually.
Yes. They had no COVID project was not open to the
every year.
Yeah.
And Lori Practico is from where?
She is from Fort Lauderdale.
She is from Fort Lauderdale.
Yes.
All right. So are a lot of the artists here today?
So we have a Phoebe Pink did like brick sort of looking legs. These are more figuratively correct. Dancer's legs that are pink, and let's see if I can
understand. She cannot swim herself.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
And
so she said, "I can't swim, but I like this project."
She is such a gift.
Yeah.
Let's get going. So she actually has a nonprofit that helps women too. It's called Girl Noticed. She does stuff all over the country. There she is, right there. Yeah,
so
that
this
gave
is Lori
Genevieve.
Practico. Let's get a shot here of this. Now these are, we've seen a series of legs dancing on the water, which is essentially the idea behind it. We're actually dancing on the water here. And tell me a little bit more about this artist.
She has been in Fort Lauderdale and doing a lot of murals. She's very active in the community. She's very generous in the community, and she's very well liked. And you can see one of her murals over at Art Serve.
Okay.
And you can go to again her nonprofit outreach is Girl Noticed. And if we want, we can take a little gander at her interview.
Yep, go ahead.
Well, I can't swim.
Who's the sailor?
So it really was just a matter of thinking about how will this look like it's actually dancing on the water. And it's part of it, and everything's kind of connected, and that's how I approach my work. It's about the connection between what you're painting and what the person viewing it is seeing and what the experience actually is.
Go back down, so it's good timing to fund projects up on their wall. So it's really lovely.
Okay, let's take us back out here live, and we are getting ashore, and they getting in their last line and getting ready to.
When they first came around, and now they're in
your collection.
So you go to you go to orange to the bubble, and you can click on art, sail art, and you can make an offer.
In face in the middle, inspired laser. The pink feet, the sun is glistening off the water. It's calming, it's therapeutic.
For the next couple, go to the contact section of the website, just fill out send FL printed version.
Coconut Grove.
Yeah, because as you
a hotel, a big hotel,
and art full with that.
So where you
and
it's left, and
we can do maybe. Do you want to do a deco?
Sure.
Deco
do you want
feed?
a story about this event that was happening? And they did a great job. So check it out.
If you've
Flying like the wind gives a whole new meaning to the term art for sale.
Mix hip street artists with the freestyle talents of young sailors, and you get the street art regatta.
It's an opportunity to exhibit both visual art in an interactive way on the water and to showcase some of the regions and actually the nation's most competitive sailing teams that are coming right out of Fort Lauderdale.
These boaters use the intercoastal waterway at the Lauderdale Yacht Club as their own personal playground.
We have competitive youth sailing teams competing against each other to sort of outdo each other in the spins and the maneuvers and the tacks.
With the wind blowing into all of the colorful sails, it's an art show like no other.
And a lot of the young up-and-coming sailors can take these beautiful printed sail versions of the original artwork on the water. The images look as though they're dancing on the water and spinning.
Seeing her work on a sail instead of a wall is a brand new experience for local artists.
I feel so excited already.
Dee Dee's one of 6 local female artists who collaborated to turn out this beauty.
We quickly came up with an idea, and then we tried to incorporate everybody's, style, the ballerina, and also the fish and the butterflies. So mostly all the pink.
From the pink in the painting to the blue of the water, take it from a sailor. You've just got a regatta.
The art on my sail.
Are the way to everyone. I'm Cynthia Demas. This is about what happened today.
What joy to you today on this Good Friday. That's what it's all about, is joy, children, the next generation, sailing, art, inspiration, love, family. We're just so blessed here, and we just want
joining us. We hope you saw something from a different perspective today that you didn't see before. Until next time, thanks so much for joining us.
Yep,
Have a great
God
day,
bless
everyone.
you.
Bye. That was a cool ending.
Yes.
Yeah. Great idea.